Mark Red Larson here for the Dreamcatcher Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, my guests are Cody and Mallory Gregory. We are here at their business here in Milford, Nebraska, Dragonfly. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So, a little bit of background about the two of you and the business.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, Cody and I, we are both teachers, finishing out year 17 of teaching already. I teach family consumer sciences.
High school math.
Your coach as well.
Coach track, yeah.
And so, our background that kind of led us into Dragonfly and the content I teach. I also teach Culinary, and I've always loved coffee my whole life. I get a mocha every single day of my life.
I think that's a win-win.
Yeah. And so this building here, the previous owners had Dragonfly, and it was a breakfast and lunch, and they had coffee. So when we moved to Milford, I would come here every day before teaching and absolutely loved it. And just with their life paths, when they decided to sell, it was sitting here for a while, and we wanted to make sure that it stayed open for Milford.
Awesome.
And
we wanted to make sure Mallory could still get a mocha.
Yeah.
There's the whole reason.
That's selfish. No. And we had always said for a long time too, like, oh, it'd be fun to open a coffee shop or a reception hall, like just that business side. Because teaching, we get to tap into that a little bit, but it's also a different different career as well. So, so we did a lot of research and talked with the owners that were here. And then through that took when we say educated leap of faith. To put an offer down. And when it got accepted, it got real really fast.
Oh, yes, it does.
And then so I actually resigned from teaching here in Milford. And that was the hardest thing I've ever done. Yeah, it was so hard. Stepping away from teaching, but also just amazing. Leadership and kids and families, all the things. And so from there, we finished out the school year, and then we officially got ownership in May of the building.
In 2024.
In 2024.
Okay.
And then from there, I also love interior design. So
really? Well, that's cool.
We gutted the whole front of this.
I was just going to ask you that. So you did. Okay.
Yep. And then he's very handy as well. You were talking about your background.
Yeah.
So Cody and we have a lot of family and friends. We spent almost a month and a half getting this kind of to the vision that we had planned.
Looks nice. Very nice.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Mostly cosmetic, but we did have an electrician and a plumber.
Yes.
That kind of stuff too.
Yes. We didn't want to burn the place down.
No, I hear you on that one. I definitely hear you on that one.
Yeah. So we just worked hard to get that going. And while you were here kind of going through that, I kept working on like the menu and getting stuff kind of how we wanted for the drink side of thing. So we kind of got to the point where we're like, okay, we need to open. So it was middle of June, and then from there,
going out. We need
well, and that's what you really learn when you when you start taking the action. And it's like, okay, was that right what we thought, or was that not?
So that whole endeavor, like, just so supported by the community and our families. So when we opened, we kind of phased it in. So we started just with drinks, so we could kind of get a feel for that, and then gradually added in pastries a couple weeks after, and then it was by August when we had full breakfast and lunch going.
That's pretty fast.
I feel like some people thought it was so slow, but we're like, no.
I'm sure that they have no idea the other side of it.
So a lot of like the previous owners had already established a lot of that already. So we just continued some things and tweaked a few other things. So the services were already kind of there.
That helps.
Parallel.
We just had to learn how to do it on our own.
And then make it our own too. So
you guys, you cook? Do you both cook?
He's a very good cook.
When necessary.
When necessary.
So we both enjoy that side of it. And so it was more of just figuring out systems and how to make things efficient and supporting our staff, because you can't do it all by yourself with all those services. So we kind of went on that endeavor, and then you went back to teaching in August. And then I was here with our team, and we worked through that. And then from there, I guess lots of things, right? So being away from teaching in August, I was like, oh, this is great. No, I love it. But it was about October. My heart was getting actually really sad being away from kids. So that was leaning in, and then we're like, okay, maybe I look at like subbing every now and then. So we kind of reached out, and then it got to the point too, we'll be fully transparent, like as a business, like we said from day one, if it ever tapped in close to our personal finances and goals, like we would look at other options too. So a teacher at Lincoln North Star, had resigned right before Christmas. And my good friend works in Lincoln for LPS. And so I reached out. I'm like, hey, what is this? And it was in child development and the culinary pathway. So we're like, this could be a good trial.
Yeah, exactly.
And I loved it there. It was awesome. And we were able to we were still doing full food and service with me teaching. And we had an amazing staff in place to be able to do that.
Which is good. You would have to.
We did. We were very blessed.
That's, there's a lot that goes into doing that.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah. You said you worked in the hospital.
Oh, yes, I do know. I mean, especially when you make it look easy, you don't know all that went in to make it look easy. Oh, yeah, it's so. I mean, is this has it been like what you thought it might be?
I think I would say every month, I feel like we keep getting closer to what we want for the business. The reason why, our why behind doing Dragonfly, obviously having it here for the community.
Yeah.
And we knew yes, we want Dragonfly to be a business to help support the cost in and out, but it wasn't for us to become rich. We knew
that's actually a good way to look at it.
But we truly wanted this building and this space to be a catalyst for people to come gather, share their stories, but also for that entrepreneurial spirit. So you can kind of see around the shop, we have earrings, or you saw the mom and daughter.
Yeah, it's a win-win there.
So or the local artists on the wall. And so all of that, we don't keep a penny of that. 100% goes back to each person who does that. And so I feel like we keep getting closer and closer to that. Why? Another big piece, I also have my special education endorsement as a teacher. And through that, there's so much value, not just for students maybe with a specific need, but also all students. Getting that industry work-based learning experience is so important in my heart and what I do.
Yes.
And so we were really wanting to open those doors for students to be able to have some opportunities here. So you've met some of our amazing staff, college students, just to keep them employed and have purpose, and they just become part of our community, which is awesome.
It is. And they would also do a good podcast.
But they would do much better than this one that's going on. So,
no, you guys are great.
And then we also work with the school too. So we have some students in their work experience program that will come here a couple days a week and help us with different tasks. So we just try to open those doors and help the education side along with the business side. But ultimately, we want to serve the best coffee and best drinks and best service and all the things out there. And so we try our best to stay up to date on that too, and provide good quality, healthy. When I say healthy, organic, good ingredients for people, versus some stuff that you can cut corners with. So
So you went to culinary school. Where did you go to culinary school at?
So I have my degree in family consumer sciences. Which back in the day was home economics. And so through that degree, it was a bachelor's degree. I went to Wayne State College. And so I took classes in the culinary, nutrition, and health. And then I also had classes in child development and human development and family interaction relationships, and then also interior and fashion design. So those are the classes I get to teach. And so my job is amazing.
That is awesome.
So much fun. And
she's good at all of it.
Well, thank you. But
I have no doubt. Because your vibe is amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. But it was actually when we moved we taught in Waverly up the road for a very long time. And your family's close to there. And then when our boys started getting into school, we wanted a smaller community and all the things that I grew up in a small town. And so this position came open. And after I interviewed here, when I came home, I'm like, if I don't get the job, I'm going to be sad. It's just an amazing place. But
it is.
Here in Milford with the FCS department, they also, there's FCCLA, but they also provide ProStar for the students, which is connected with the culinary classes.
Really? Okay.
And it's through the National Restaurant Association. So it's a nationwide curriculum and skills, and they partner you with chef mentors. So you can compete if you want to. So I kind of got hooked on that. It was so much fun. The students, we have a blast. Just so many good memories, but the chef mentors were just
your industry contacts.
So I feel like I get to kind of be a student along with the students that I'm teaching.
And being a student your whole life is a good thing.
It's 100%.
And you've already learned so many things.
Yes. And continue to as well. So, you just make those great connections. So then you don't feel like you're doing this alone either. So
connections is what it's all about.
Yeah. So that's kind of where the love of all of this I feel like just came together. So.
Now, so, this is Dream Catcher Podcast. I always asked when you were. I'll ask Cody first. When you were growing up, what was your dream? I mean, what were the dreams? What did you think you were going to be when you grew up?
Oh, I had no idea.
Okay.
Architecture was a thought at one time.
Okay.
But really just, serving a purpose and having a meaningful career.
Very good.
Yeah, I think we've done that. So.
Okay.
He's very humble in his story too. Yeah, he had. You can share.
Had what?
Had what? Yeah. What did you have, Mr. Cody?
So I'm a cancer survivor. I was diagnosed in 2003 with testicular cancer.
Okay.
I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
It was a couple weeks before I graduated, actually. So that played a small part in where I ended up going to school because at one point I was going to go to an architectural school out of state.
Okay.
Decided to stay
with that. Yeah.
It just felt like I needed to stay home. So.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on
So
that cancer is just.
What is it? 23 years ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You can screw you, cancer. In all aspects. So. Yep. And we have 2 kids too, so we divide those odds as well. So yes, yeah.
That is awesome. So how old are your kids? And
12 and 10. The youngest just turned 10 last week.
So there's a little bit of energy in your house then. So.
I'm outnumbered. They're both boys too.
Yeah.
So I'm surrounded by boys.
Yes. So what do they want to do? Do they help here?
Right, our oldest he'll come in every now and then and help out on slower days, and Will likes to hang out in the back.
That's kind of cool. Keep it in the family. I think that's very awesome.
Yeah, and there's days too where we understand that too, where they just need space away from here because they're kids. So like we never want to push that on them either.
That's good too.
Sometimes they need space away from us too.
So mutual.
I don't think my parents probably would have thought my sister and I when they needed time away from us. Do you think, Cheryl?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, my sister and I didn't get along. It's good we get along now, but we didn't get along very well then. So, where would you like to see this in like a year or 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see it continue as we're going right now, just with that places you kind of saw as you guys are sitting in here today, where people can come and gather of all ages. Whether this morning we had some of Roy's classmates were here, so elementary girls were sitting at a table having lemonade and boba, and then there was just to have that place for everyone to come and gather and have really good coffee and drinks just to be together. So I guess our goal looking forward is to make it sustainable for that. But I think beyond that, besides just having those doors open, I think one of the big things we would love to do is just open up like fun community events and activities, like cool. Legos and lattes.
There you go. I like that idea.
Like a pie class, some things where I could teach. But we also, and those were ideas we had from the get-go, but we also just a person's capacity of time. We try to protect that as well. So we're like one thing at a time. So we'll see if we ever get there or not. But
I think
some fine dining would be great here as well. Yeah. I would love that. But like for evening meals would be awesome. But
so with fine dining, what are some favorite entrees that you like?
Prime rib.
Prime rib, okay. How about you, Cody?
Her prime rib.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Pretty much anything your pro starts. Mallory's taken kids to nationals several times.
Wow.
Has state champion culinary teams and
team of us.
Teacher of the year too, just with her
awesome
leadership.
Thanks,
multiple
Cody.
times.
He doesn't need to mention it.
Well, that's cool though.
Yes, and very humble. So
I understand that too. So would you guys would actually be good to have in your own podcast just for what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you could be out a month. I mean, every other month or something like that. So how do people find you? Are you an online presence?
Yeah. So we have, we were blessed. So the previous owners, so part of that, transfer of ownership, we technically bought the business from them along with the building. So with that, they were fantastic to work with us in terms of taking over the social media account. So we didn't have to start that from scratch, which was fantastic. And so we predominantly use Facebook and Instagram and then Google to get that out. Our goal too, just getting a website built would be great, which we can do. We just
We just
have not.
It's in your spare time.
It's in our spare time. So just all the things. And then a lot of it too, I think our greatest promoter, and we don't do these events to promote Dragonfly, but we try a couple weeks ago, we had an event here. So Dale, who you met.
Yes.
And then another barista of ours, Riley, they both go to Doane, but both of them live out west where all the fires are happening.
Yes.
And Riley's family in Arthur County. And so I had reached out. I'm like, hey, we could do a quick fundraiser here. And so we always do 100% back. So that night we were able to raise $1,600, right? To just be able to kick back by people donating and coming in. So I think just by doing good acts for others, I think that also just lets people see this is really why we're here. So please keep coming so we can stay open.
And I love that because I think there's a lacking, maybe not in Nebraska, but there's a lacking where I think it's great what coffee houses place like this because there's so lack of connection.
Yes, yeah.
And maybe, do you find that with kids? Because I've done so many kids that are struggling. Well, in North Carolina, I did a podcast, and the number 2 reason for death in North Carolina preteens is suicide.
Yep.
Do you find that in Nebraska as much, or
it's always just awareness.
Yeah, I bet.
We, as teachers, we go through training for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, the awareness of students and their mental health.
Yeah. I think though, with phones and social media, just there's more research coming out to show that connection. And so schools are protecting kids just by policies and stuff too. Phones are checked every day. And so they're forced to talk to each other. I mean, so kids are kids. They're gonna you have to tell them quit talking or hey, listen.
That's excellent.
So I guess when you say that, you can see that sometimes it's different, but also in the end, they're still human. So they're making those connections. And you saw 2 girls come in today.
Yeah, they were amazing.
Yeah, just being kids. So it's pretty awesome.
Don't give them too much credit.
What's that?
Don't give them too much.
No. So in your free time, which isn't much, what do you guys like to do? Do you have free time?
What?
Do you like to
what
travel?
Free time?
Maybe you don't have
you love baseball.
Yeah, I watch a lot of baseball. When we were renovating this, there was a lot of baseball on the TV or on the radio.
Who's your team?
Milwaukee.
Okay.
Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah.
I coach track at the high school too, so I spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
Currently, right now, this is my busy season.
I
spend
very
a lot
much
of time with track. So,
yeah,
I love doing that.
Yeah.
So, did you run track when you were in?
Yep.
You did.
High school and college.
Okay.
I went to Waverly High School and
okay.
Wayne State College, ran hurdles and sprints.
Okay.
Got to throw the javelin a little bit. That was fun.
But that would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you do sports in school?
I did. Yep. I did all 3. Yep. Loved it. It was fun.
Seasons.
Yeah. It was good. Volleyball, basketball, track, and then did dance team and student council. This was a very involved student. It was fun, but
this might shock you, but Mallory was involved in everything in high school and was good at everything.
No, but I would say in my spare time, spare time, but just being outside, to garden.
You do have garden?
Okay. Oh yeah, we fight over who gets to mow the lawn. Our boys will probably never get to mow our lawn. So because we always fight over that.
Since we got the righty mower.
I bet. Yeah, I bet they really like that.
Yes, back in the good old days before kids, we have 2 mopeds, so we would go mopeding. That was always fun, just around town. And then I don't know.
Died.
Yeah, just being outside, and we do we love to see family, so we go out to your parents, our family, our nieces and nephews.
Very good.
And then I guess as a family with our boys, we always like to play games, like game boards, and
I think that's actually
hoops in the driveway.
Yeah,
just
that's where memories are made.
Yeah,
very, very much.
And I feel like a lot of our traveling connections, we do some stuff as a family, but a lot of that is traveling with students to different places, and it's a great way to see the country and world too. So we get to take that in.
And it is. It's really good because until you go to a place like we were talking earlier, Italy, it was so much different than when we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But so you said you wanted to go to Europe or something?
Oh, I would love to go to any country out of America. I would love to travel the world. That'd be awesome. But it's also expensive. So
it is.
Yes.
But just think it's tuition. It's towards your education for you're getting your
someday.
Yes.
Someday.
Yes.
But no, that's something we enjoy. You would rather drive places. I would rather fly. So we're opposite in personalities that way, which is good.
Canada would be about as international as I would get.
I have never been to Canada. I think
Mexico.
Maybe Mexico, but
yeah, absolutely.
Not a fan of the water. So.
So changing gears, you're amazing. Like with muffins, my wife and I just had.
Yeah,
So
thank
do
you.
you make those?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So most of our pastries, as I was telling you, there's a few pastries too we bring in and then bake them fresh. But most of our pastries are from scratch. So like our donuts, cinnamon rolls, muffins, all the things. We in our spare time. And then also we have a really good friend. She comes in. So her and I tag team mornings because we are all teachers. So
yeah, make it a little tough.
So her and I kind of tag team mornings in terms of who comes in to get the baking going for the morning. And then on weekends we're able to do a little more just because we're not going to school. So and then we just kind of prep ahead, plan ahead, and once we got that system down, it works. Yeah, it works really well.
When you say on Saturdays you have cinnamon rolls?
Yep, cinnamon rolls, donuts. So we do old-fashioned sour cream and raised donuts, sometimes cake donuts, sometimes fried cinnamon roll donuts. Those are good. We usually eat those before they make it.
Those are good. We used to have a bakery in Minden that made those.
Oh, so delicious. Good. Yeah. Yes. And obviously like cream puffs and all the things, like there's so many things I love baking, but also again, just time, right? Like, so that capacity and balance of
come back in the summer.
Yeah. Summers you'll see more than in the winters because that's just how it goes.
So what do you do in the summers?
Yeah. So obviously, like for the past 16 years before we did this with FCCLA, usually very blessed we'd have kids qualify for nationals. So usually I'd be traveling. And then that's kind of our downtime to get projects done at home and all the things too. So yeah.
So gardening, what do you usually have in your garden? I mean, big garden?
Yeah.
Weeds.
Okay.
Weeds.
Well, I that would be my garden.
No. 1 year we had pumpkins because my boys and I, we snuck seeds in without him knowing. So we had pumpkins. But no, we usually like to do peppers, tomatoes, herbs, right? For salsas and potatoes and cucumbers. Yeah, kind of the whole mix. So
sounds good.
Last year we planted wildflowers. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Those
did they do pretty well?
Yeah. Okay. They did. They're really pretty.
Sweet corn was good.
Sweet corn.
Sweet corn is always very good.
We did sunflowers 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could never get strawberries to go though.
How come?
I think the birds eat them before.
Oh, I can see that.
So.
Say the plants grow the berries.
I bet there's somebody's helping themselves.
Yes. Yeah.
So do you have like events here? I mean,
so sometimes we rent out the space. There's like small groups that'll come in here. So we're like, we just make it so it covers someone to open the doors for them. But so we'll have events in here. Sometimes, like in the winter when it was closer to Christmas, we'd be open in the evenings just for people that come in.
Oh, very nice.
Last summer we had a princess party. So one of my former students, she it's amazing. She does princess parties. So she dressed up as, which princess was it? The Rapunzel.
Okay.
And we were expecting we were hoping for like 20 girls to come, and it was slammed. It was awesome. It was so cool.
It's great when it works that way.
Yeah. So doing fun events like that for all ages. We've done a pie making night. So we've had people come in,
cool.
And taught them, and we made pies together. So it just kind of depends. Now that I've been back teaching full time, haven't done as many events, but over the summer too, again, those are things that we're looking at.
So do you get teach your mistakes like on pies and stuff like that?
Oh, that's at school. Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot more mistakes in school.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah.
That's what you have to learn that way. Yes.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So, okay. Question.
Yeah.
You're still teaching, but you have no problem with no money, all the money in the world. Everything is basically met. What would you guys do? I mean, what is the big dream? Like
for this building, like for this
space, just whatever you want to, what direction you want to go to.
Have all debt paid off.
Yeah, all debt, and you get money's never ever an issue anymore.
I don't know.
We've never thought about that because I don't know if that would ever be a reality. But I don't know.
Probably see as much as we could.
Yeah.
Traveling.
Actually, I know what I'd do. Okay. If I had unlimited amount of money, I would open my own school.
Oh, wow.
I would open my own school, but it would be a public school. So all kids could come.
Very good.
And just not be tied to some of the amazing things that our schools do have to do, but just to do learning a little bit different. So for that creativity, curiosity, autonomy, that just sometimes can't happen when schools are required to do X, Y, and Z. So there's dreams. It's in there.
That's very, very good.
Yes, that would be pretty awesome. Or like a rooftop on top of this building would be pretty awesome too. So rooftop seating.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, just something fun like that.
So when's this going to happen?
Right, yes. Win the lottery. That's when that will happen.
You can find where the staircase could go.
Yeah. You know,
that would be
it would be pretty awesome. So
I mean, I like your little tables out there, but up there would be more awesome.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So I don't
All
know.
the things.
Do you ever do? I don't know if you like wine, or I don't know if you do. Would you do something like that with baked goods and wine?
We would have to get our liquor license.
Sure, I figured that. Probably.
So that would be something. We would have to explore that. We've thought about it, but also just knowing this. So we're sitting in a 1900 building.
Okay. So
and I do know when you have to get a liquor license, like fire code. And obviously this is all inspected, but there would be some things we'd probably have to shift around a little bit. So, but it would be pretty fun too, because I feel the environment would be fun for like a Friday after school club or just something.
True.
But also, like, we would never want to. We truly believe like you kind of stay in your lane in small towns because you don't want to overlap that competition, because it'll just saturate out both businesses. So, like Uptown Tavern is right across the street, and it's a fun place to go. But also, like, that's different than like a wine, like just a place to come wine and dine for a bit too. So it would be fun. It'd be a good exploration.
Yeah. So do you go to wineries?
We've gone to a couple. Yeah. We're not like wine snobs.
Winos. Are you red or white or dry or sweet?
Yes. I like whites, but yes. But that is something, and people have asked too, and we're like, oh, that'd be fun. Actually, one of our wholesale reps, that sign that's over there that says coffee time, it flips and it says wine time.
Okay, that's a win-win.
Win-win, but so all the things.
Oh my gosh. So with I mean, how did you learn to do this?
I
mean, what was the journey on that?
Yeah. So for the coffee side of it and the espresso and the drinks,
right?
A lot of that was, obviously, I love doing and drinking coffee, but knowing we'd be running a business, I took on that experience, I guess you could say. Paid for it was a coffee school I went to for about a week.
Really?
Yep. And then that was pretty awesome, just to be around people who have been in that industry and kind of know. And I loved it because they were very blunt too. They're like,
oh really? Okay,
here's where your numbers should be based off of foot traffic, like all the things from the business side, because they wanted you to be successful,
which is good.
And but also from the side of like there's a lot of food science in it. So there was like 6 to 7 I can't believe I just said that. My gosh, so many samples of espresso. Stupid students, right? Like, gosh, it's in our head. But we like to test, and they would have us like test espresso that was like pulled at too hot of a temperature, or espresso that it was too fine of a grind or too coarse of a grind, and to see like how that tasted on your tongue. And so I told Cody, I said, when I come back, I'm going to be a coffee snot, because then you recognize that. Same with like drip coffee too, like what does that aftertaste? What should that look like in ratio? So it really helped me when we have this equipment here to kind of know like, okay, this is what it's at, or contacting our tech to be able to help us problem solve. But also just on then the selection of like our coffee beans, who are we going to get that from? Or even the milk, like, do we go like the 250 off brand, or do we go with a higher quality milk? And it makes a difference. And same with our syrups, like they're organic syrups, so you don't see food dye in them, so we don't have all the colorful drinks. But they're so flavorful and they're not metallic-y. So just like that stuff matters to me, just having really good quality. And sometimes that costs a little more, but we're able to kind of navigate that through. So our roaster for our beans is out of Burwell, Nebraska. They have that wholesale collective where I then am able to network with other small businesses across Nebraska. And Josh and their family, they're just wonderful people to work with. So we love working with them. So
you guys in the state of Nebraska, there's a lot of places you can have like a meet in the center of the state and all come together and say, okay, I had this. Did you have this?
Yes. And at the end of this month, Josh, the normal roasting, they're hosting that for us. So that'll be in Grand Island, that we can go and hang out and network, which is good.
So do you go too?
I haven't.
You didn't come to Burwell, because he's not a coffee drinker.
Well, I made one trip up to Burwell because we ran out of beans.
That's serious.
We didn't order enough initially, and we needed some
that would
quickly.
And how much to order?
drive up there and get
Yeah,
some.
they roasted them on demand for us, and they're like, as long as you come get
is
them.
awesome.
They bailed us out. But
I think he liked the road trip by himself.
it was kind of...
I think road trips are good.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That's one thing we were talking about. My wife having cancer. We did a lot of road trips in Nebraska and Kansas.
I bet.
And so if there's any time you want to know anything about those two states, we've probably been there.
Hit you up on that. Yeah.
Oh,
yes. Yeah, we also, I guess, teas too is another thing that we love. So we actually use Rishi, and that's out of Milwaukee, and they're fair trade, 100% organic, but it's all, you had some today.
I was just going to say, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's all loose leaf tea, so it just extracts the oils and flavors.
Very good.
Yeah, so we tried to build some of our drinks with that too, which is unique. And I don't know, what else am I missing? I feel like that's most of it. And then, a lot of it then on the culinary side, I'm leaning into my own experience, but then also networking with people that I would need. So,
and I would think that'd be good. Somebody's gone through it before you.
Yeah.
Chef Rhodes was a huge...
Yeah, Chef Rhodes, Chef O'Malley, Chef Curtis. Yeah.
So you, I mean, of course, when you're teaching, but do you speak in public? Either one of you?
No.
Really? I have you. I mean, I can see you both doing it, but I can really see you doing it in front of...
No, thanks.
I'm too quiet.
I could see you'd balance each other out on the stage.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, when I have to speak in front of like an honors convocation in front of the parents, I feel like my stomach's coming through my mouth.
I'm surprised. You seem very comfortable
I can be with kids all the time, but once you're... no, thanks.
Okay.
No,
but that bothers you.
Yeah. I mean, I can do it, but...
I could see you doing it. I think you'd be very good, too.
Thanks. That's very kind of you.
No, because you just seem at ease.
Oh.
And then if it's helping with kids or anybody else, I could definitely see that. But you just don't like to speak. Well, you must speak when you're doing with your math and everything. And
nobody likes to talk about math anyway. So.
It's necessary, though. Oh.
No, it's...
So, math, did you always think you must always like math?
I was always good at it, I guess. It was just kind of natural, but I don't know. I think history was my favorite subject.
History
I
is
really
amazing.
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
No, I like math because it came kind of natural to me, but then there's also the history component of that. I really enjoyed learning about where it came from and why everything works the way it does.
I could see
that. So I've tried to incorporate that into my classes too.
Win-win.
And science is just math with a purpose. So
true. Okay.
So I just go right to the math is the tool, science is the product.
So do you like accounting?
Not really. You do all of our books.
Well, I just thought I would
do all of our books. So. Accounting is just adding and subtracting.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We both accounting, math. Actually, really.
I love geometry. Geometry is really enjoyable. Just the spatial reasoning, measurements, architecture, building.
So, would you like to be an architect?
It'd be fun, but my uncle was he built houses for a long time. My dad can build about anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of cool to say, I designed that building that's there.
Yeah.
So.
It is fun when we're
a large family of builders.
Yes.
Okay. It can all do anything. So
like when we're doing renovations or project ideas, and you're like, oh, wait, we can use this formula to figure this out. I'm like, okay, all right,
that's awesome though.
It's pretty fun. But I would say, and I'm biased because we're spouses, but he totally just sees math and numbers and history like differently. So even when you're explaining stuff to students, I'm like, I never learned it that way. Like, oh, that makes sense. Or, oh, never that. Or I'm like, I don't even know how you would do that. And you're like, I'm married to you.
I don't even know why that would be needed to know. Like,
I will say, though, there are multiple times where I have a student come into my classroom and ask for a rope ruler, which is a tape measure, or when they don't know how to measure inches or kitchen math or conversions or fractions. And I always come back to them like, hey, math teacher.
Yeah,
let's relook at this. So
that's before me.
Before
I'm
you.
at the high school.
Yes. So we joke.
Rope ruler. Okay, I've never heard of that.
Yep, neither had I. And I was like, what are we talking about?
That was one student.
Yes, one student.
That's okay. I'm never going to look at a tape measure the same way.
Yeah,
okay.
It makes sense though.
It does actually.
Yep. So, all good stories
about your fabric.
Yep.
Tapes.
Yeah, like a tape.
No, I know that's true.
Tape.
Yeah.
Thought of that either. So.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah. all sorts of things we learned. But
so talking about clothing, you must like to build things.
Oh,
yeah, just general, just
okay.
handyman.
And he has good stuff.
Weekend warrior woodworking type stuff. So nothing.
What kind of wood do you like to work with?
Whatever. Oak is natural. Awesome. Cheap pine boards at Menards.
That works too.
Whatever we have.
Okay.
His dad has a sawmill out at their farm, so that's kind of fun.
Oh, wow.
So like that table up at the window, that wood had been sitting, and we're eventually going to cover the rest of the bars with that too. But
it's from a walnut tree.
Yeah.
They
have to dry it out.
That's so pretty wood, yes.
Yeah.
We have a lot of cedar. There's cedar weeds everywhere. So
they are weeds. They're really some parts of Nebraska they're taking over.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And
his dad also makes saddles, and they're absolutely amazing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So like I feel like we're connected because he has these awesome like huge industrial sewing machines in his saddle shop. So that's kind of cool too. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, my dad's built saddles since I think about the time I was born.
My mom and him like that.
Both,
wow.
They both did the rodeo scene when they were younger.
Okay.
She's a barrel racer. I think it started when her saddle broke. One of the straps broke, and he was trying to find somebody who could fix it. And his motto is, "We've all got two hands and a brain. We can figure it out." So
that's true.
So he figured it out, and then 40 plus years later, he's still building them.
That's awesome.
They're amazing.
My sister would love to talk to them. My sister loves
150.
So
yeah.
Wow.
They're pretty amazing.
Yeah. So you guys like horses? Do you have any? I mean, you have pets?
We had 4 growing up. You grew up with horses.
Yeah, we would breed horses.
Yeah.
I grew up on an acreage. Between Lincoln and Palmyra, kind of.
Okay.
So
yeah.
We always had horses around.
Horses are like big cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
They eat a lot more.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yeah. No, actually, I just did a podcast with Lionheart and Carney, and they use horses to help kids.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Like she said, they don't ever put the kid with a horse because the horse kind of knows which one needs to. And horses are amazing.
Yeah.
Well, they really are.
Yeah.
But they are. Very smart. She said they could feel your heartbeat. How far was it, Cheryl? Like 10 feet away?
Really? Oh, that's amazing.
So it was pretty much. So no dog or cats or anything like that?
We
have a dog at home right now.
Okay.
Yeah. We do. We do have a dog, yes.
So what kind of dog is he?
It's a Bernie Doodle. So.
Oh, that's a good breed. I like that.
Yeah.
So big dog.
Yeah,
fairly big.
Yeah, she's adorable. She's like
It's 2.5.
She's a very much people person, but
Yeah,
thinks she's a lap dog, and she's not. So, but yeah, she's a sweetheart. So
yeah.
And we both grew up on acreages or farms too, so we're used to being around animals.
Did you have animals when you were growing up?
Yeah. So my dad's still a farmer. So
is he? Okay.
Cows.
Cows. Well, no longer, but he's getting close to retirement, which we're happy for. But our family backstory. So my grandpa, Kastmeyer, he, when he moved to the Hooper, he was in Dodge Hooper area, he started the John Deere store in Hooper.
Wow.
And then it kind of shifted from Hooper to Fremont. So I don't remember my grandpa often. He died of cancer when I was like super, super young, very vague memories. But so then my dad and his brother took over the John Deere store in Fremont. So I my cousins and I roamed the store all the time. So
I bet that's true.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then when I got to be, I think 6th or 7th grade, my dad decided to, my dad and brother, they sold the store, and then my dad just went full-time farming, and then helps another works for another farmer close by home. So cows, bucket calves, I remember doing that. Horses, and the horses we had were nothing like what you guys did, but my grandpa was big into like buggies and showing horse, so we have all of those too. My dad is starting to kind of sift through some of that, but so the horses we had were for different purposes, and they were more of like just passed down. So my dad took care of them and all the things. So
you're partial to John Deere dealerships when you go by?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yes. So,
awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
No, that is.
Yes.
So before we end the podcast, what else is coming up at Dragonfly?
What do you think? We just rolled out our spring menu. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be planning out some summer stuff, I think, to go from there. Maybe dabbling into some culinary stuff. We don't know yet, but
that's fun. So you kind of change with the seasons usually?
Yeah. And drink special. I mean, kind of like any place, right? The seasonal specials.
Whatever holidays coming up.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And just to keep, I think we're ready to maybe for a year of just like consistency of,
and I can understand
no more new
that,
changes too, and just keeping like doing what we're doing really well, right? And continuing that, which we would absolutely love to continue to
So
do.
how about we talked about vintage Christmas stuff earlier? Do you really decorate here?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yes, we do. We have fun with that. So,
Okay.
the first year we were open here, we actually took our Christmas tree from home and put it here. So that was, So we're getting things situated and updated for all of that. And we have like the kids at the elementary make snowflakes to hang up, and then they decorate coffee sleeves that we give out to customers. And
very good.
Yeah, kind of the reason for it all.
And then the ornaments on the tree that the funeral parlor.
Yes, the memory tree. That's pretty special.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Awesome. Yep. They bring in really cool ornaments, and then they have a neat sign because we know that the holidays are sometimes hard for people.
Oh, yes.
And that tree fills up so quick of people. Like they just write names of people that they've lost. Yeah.
Somebody to remember.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But yeah.
No, I think that is. Yeah, you guys have a lot of irons in the fire. You're doing that. I mean, this is a great place.
Well, thank
so
you.
yes, come to Milford, Nebraska. So
yes,
you're right on Main Street here. Awesome town.
Yes,
we did the other day. We did the podcast down with Craig.
The market.
You guys are so fortunate to have that place in town.
Yes,
it is an amazing place.
They actually have fresh produce without having to drive a long ways.
Yes.
So,
and a lot of local meat too from
a
lot of butchers
that's
around.
An amazing place. I wish. And so when are you going to put these in Minden and where from? It's not that bad.
yes. We are. Yeah, right. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Would you ever want to do that way down the line?
No, I don't think so. No, like we have a little nook at the college here in town at SCC. They remodeled one of the really old buildings there and built in a specific area. So they had reached out to see if we'd be interested in like running the shop there and leasing it from them. And they took our bid. And so we started that in January. And that's been going well. We're learning a lot too.
I bet
and we had some fun with the menu and like the trade stuff that goes on there. So it's called Trade City Coffee, and then it's where every cup holds a story, because that part is really important to us.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome too.
Yep. So we kept that little tagline there, but
and it's open to the public.
Yep, it's open to the public and the students and staff there.
Okay,
so. And then obviously is just open when school's open for them.
Sure.
So over the summer we won't have it open and all the things. So
well, you'll be doing your gardening.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, because gardens take, especially keeping the weeds out and everything else.
Yes.
And all the other animals that like to help themselves. So do your boys like to garden?
They like to.
Joy does.
Yeah, they like to harvest it more than.
Well, I'm kind of on that too. At the end,
I mean, everyone does, but yeah.
They like tearing out the pumpkins when we have pumpkins.
It's kind of fun.
Throw them out in the field and chop them up for the deer.
Yeah,
deer do like those. That's for sure too. No, that's very good.
Yeah, I do think. I guess we didn't even really say that. We probably should have. But the tagline for Dragonfly, Dragonfly, obviously was the name carried on from multiple owners, because that's just what people in Milford know this building as is Dragonfly.
We had thought about changing.
Yeah, we just didn't want to, but
probably
exactly yes, and we just wanted to make sure though, we made it kind of our own too. So we came up with that tagline where every cup holds a story. And that comes from
that's cool.
When we got hired in Milford Public Schools. The mission there is everyone has a story, make yours worth telling.
Amen.
And it's so good. And that was very rooted with the former principal who we've never met.
TJ Meyer.
Yep. And it was through a book, 1,000,000 Miles in 1,000 Years. You should read it. It's a really
I've never
good
heard
book.
of that book until now. I will have to.
Very good book by Donald Miller. Don Miller. Don Miller. But so that's kind of the mission statement there. And we're like, okay, how could we kind of bring that here to let people know it really does, no matter who you are, everyone is welcome, whether you're having highs, lows every day, every person matters no matter what.
Amen.
So,
and like we were talking before, everybody's going through something too.
Or has a backstory.
Everybody's got backstories.
And you get to learn a lot from that.
You do. So, I think that's excellent. So I think on that I'm going to end the podcast.
Perfect.
That's a great way to end
Sounds
it.
good.
So I want to thank both of you for being on the Dreamcatcher podcast.
Thanks for reaching out. It's been so fun meeting you.
No, and great meeting you too. So and maybe I'll look someday for you to do a pop-up podcast.
Oh, golly.
I can see you sitting right here. I was like, Cody's like, we're going to do a podcast today.
Right. Yeah.
It's
high on the list.
Okay, I could tell. So on that, this has been fun.
Awesome.
Thank you for doing this, and
Absolutely.
have a good weekend, good Easter.
Yes, happy Easter.
And we'll talk to you later.
Sounds
Thank
great.
you.